Welcome to this explainer. I am incredibly excited to get into today's topic because we are going to completely deconstruct 5 highly effective online wealth pathways for 2026. If you've been looking for a real, structured breakdown of how to generate income online without all the fluff, you are in the exact right place. Let's get started. Okay, let's dive into this. Imagine for a second that everything you own was taken away today, except for the smartphone in your pocket and the laptop on your desk. For most people, this is an absolute nightmare scenario that leaves them at absolute zero. But here is the fascinating part. For the modern digital architect, this is actually the only foundation you need to build a multi-million-dollar empire from scratch in 2026. We are currently living in an era where the traditional path of study, graduate, and wait for a paycheck is effectively dead. Instead, we're seeing the rise of the digital architect. This is someone who uses their devices rather than massive upfront funding to reconstruct a high-income life. A modern digital architect uses intelligence over massive funding, meaning your brain is literally your greatest asset. They prioritize strategy over capital to aggressively mitigate risk.
Our roadmap today follows 6 specific steps: rebuilding from absolute zero, the high-speed trading trap, testing the e-commerce waters, trading time for money, the unfiltered content creator, and finally, building your ghost monopoly.
Step 1. Rebuilding from absolute zero. The remaining 8 months of this year represent a massive window of opportunity for anyone willing to stop looking for quick hacks and start building actual assets. The reality is that if you have your devices and a clear roadmap, you can reconstruct a high-income life in record time. It's all about taking massive action within this exact window we have right now.
But to ensure we aren't falling for scams, we are going to strictly evaluate every single online pathway using a 3-part framework. We're calling this the evaluation triad. What is the risk level? How much time is required before you see returns? And what is the actual upfront investment? We will run every single skill through this exact filter. Step 2. The high-speed trading trap.
Most students get lured into the flashy world of high-speed trading because they see influencers living these impossible lifestyles. But the truth that no one tells you is that trading is often a massive trap. The harsh reality is that you can lose your entire savings, your car, or even your home in a single minute. If someone tells you that you can change your life overnight with just a few dollars in a trading account, they are simply not being honest with you.
Let's look at the triad for trading. The risk is astronomically high. Time-wise, you need a minimum of 6 months of dedicated learning just to understand the absolute basics. Without that, you are essentially just gambling away your future. Real success in that field requires immense patience and the ability to weather significant losses. Instead of chasing that get-rich-quick allure, we need to look at models with better margins.
Step 3. Testing the e-commerce waters. E-commerce has changed drastically. It used to be a goldmine for those with massive inventory budgets, but the 2026 landscape rewards those who use intelligence over capital. Today, the smartest players are using artificial intelligence and short-form content to test demand before they ever spend a single penny on inventory. By creating content on platforms like TikTok or Instagram and seeing what actually resonates with an audience, you completely eliminate the risk of being stuck with a warehouse full of products that nobody wants. In the past, you might have needed 5 to 10 lakhs just to test a product, but looking at the modern e-commerce triad, the risk is actually quite low if you use that test-first approach organically. It takes about 3 to 6 months to reach stability. For investment, a testing budget of around 5 lakhs locally or $1,000 to $2,000 for US dropshipping is standard. You wait for that one exclusive product that you can mark up for double the profit because you're the only one offering it in your market. Step 4. Trading time for money. Now, for many, e-commerce requires a level of management that's just a bit overwhelming, which is why freelancing is such a great stepping stone. But it requires about 3 to 6 months of consistent, dedicated effort before achieving a stable income. You need to invest heavily in understanding the platforms and mastering client outreach. It definitely doesn't happen in a week.
The triad for freelancing is pretty straightforward. The upfront investment is zero, just your laptop and your effort. The financial risk is also zero. However, the time required is extremely high. You are constantly trading your hours for dollars. While it's a fantastic way to start, you will eventually hit a ceiling because, let's face it, you only have so many hours in a day.
Step 5. The unfiltered content creator. The real unfair advantage in 2026 lies in the synergy between content creation and digital product scaling. Content creation is no longer just about being famous. It is about building a relatable identity that people actually want to follow because they feel a personal connection to your journey. You don't need a cinematic camera or a professional studio. You just need a phone with a decent lens and a unique idea. The most successful creators today are unfiltered, honest, and willing to expose the truth about their industry using a mix of humor and original insights.
When you stop trying to be a perfect version of someone else and start being an honest version of yourself, the financial upside is absolutely incredible. Once you give people a real reason to follow you, you unlock the ability to earn between 10 and 50 lakhs a month just by sharing your perspective. It completely dwarfs traditional earning pathways.
But let's ground this with our triad. The investment and risk are basically zero. However, the time commitment is intense. It requires at least 3 months of strict consistency, and sometimes, honestly, it can take years before your channel truly pops. It requires immense patience and resilience to keep innovating.
Step 6. Building your ghost monopoly.
This is where the ghost monopoly really takes shape. Once you have an audience that trusts you, you can introduce digital products that solve their specific problems. Compare a traditional business with its high inventory and shipping costs against digital products like an ebook, a specialized guide, or workflow templates. A digital product is something you build once and sell an infinite number of times with zero shipping costs and zero inventory headaches. It works for you even while you sleep.
So the crucial point here is that you must follow the niche rule. You have to understand exactly why people are watching your content in the first place. If you are a food blogger, you can't suddenly start selling a trading course because your audience isn't there for financial advice. They are there for your culinary expertise. You have to find that sweet spot where your skills perfectly meet the audience's needs.
Our final triad analysis shows exactly why this is the hottest topic in the 2026 economy. The risk is low because you're selling to your existing audience. The investment is minimal, just basic software tools. By building once and selling repeatedly, you completely bypass the traditional struggles of freelancing's time ceiling and e-commerce's inventory headaches to secure a highly stable stream of wealth.
We've covered the entire digital landscape today. You already have the devices sitting right in front of you. You have the exact roadmap to reconstruct your income from absolute zero. The window of opportunity is wide open right now. So, I leave you with this provocative thought. Stop consuming quick hacks. Look at the tools you already have and ask yourself, what asset will you start building before 2026 ends?